Hello and welcome to another edition of Let's Football Live. How are you guys doing? Give us a wave, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us all right, if you can see me all right. Akhil Koshi is joined. Hello. Hello Akhil. C. Aditya Roy. Hello. Hello my friend. Mr. Paul. Hello. I'll just let you guys tune in to this coverage of Let's Football Live. It's a journey that started, I think on the 9th of April with Sandesh Jingan, who was then with Kerala Blasters, but so much has changed in such a short span of time. And we've had a great journey. We've covered players from, every club. Kerala Blasters, we actually had two coaches of Kerala Blasters as well, Elko Shatori, formerly of Kerala, and Kibu Vicuña. We've also heard from Edwin Sidney Vanspaul and Lucian Goyan of Chennai FC. From Bengaluru, we've had Eric Partalu and Nishu Kumar. FC Goa, Hugo Bumu. Mumbai City FC, Amrinder Singh. Jamshedpur FC, Farooq Chaudhry. ATK, we had David Williams nice and early. Hello to everyone joining this coverage. I hope you guys are well. I hope you are safe. There's noise about a thunderstorm, in Mumbai. So if you guys are in Mumbai, stay safe, guys. Stay at home. Don't venture out too much. The Met Department has issued a warning. Kerala Blasters fans always there as well. Today's guest are Studio Day, so let's get straight into it. Now, I was saying how we've had guests from almost every single club, and I say almost because there's one club still remaining technically. Because the guest today is somebody who joined Northeast United FC, the Highlanders, in January 2019. And he's somebody who's known to run with the ball, dribble past opponents, shoot from outside the box. He's got a style statement of his own as well. And we're lucky to have him on Let's Football Live today. So I'm going to try and get him on, and you guys can fire away with your questions. Let's not forget that he has been prolific for Northeast United FC in terms of their form. Northeast might have had a forgettable season in 2019-20, but every time he scored or assisted, they didn't lose a game. So plenty to talk about with Mr. Triadis, who joins us on Let's Football Live, and you got him here. Tuning in once again. And if you've got any questions for Pana Triadis, fire away. Just waiting for him to join our conversation, and there he is. Hello, my man. How are you? And where are you?
Good. How are you? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Somebody has just rightly pointed out, Pana. It's Pana time. Yeah, that's the one. What's the secret behind that celebration? What's with the Pana time? I wanted to know that first up.
Honestly, it just came spontaneously.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fans message me, Pana time. So I was just like, you know what? Yeah. This should be the one.
I'm just waiting for your video to settle down. Sometimes it takes a bit of time on Instagram for the server to just let the video call happen without any glitches. Now we're fine. We're fine now. Can you hear me all right?
Wait 1 second. Give me a sec.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Now it's good.
Is that better? So where are you now, Pana? Are you in Germany right now? Are you in Greece? Where exactly are you?
I'm back home in Germany with my family. We just all got together here for the quarantine, just staying safe.
Yeah.
Spending some quality time at home.
Well, great to see you. Your hairstyle looks a lot different from how it does on the pitch usually. So it took me a while to register that. I hope I've dialed the right number.
Yeah, it's grown a little bit.
Yeah, it's grown. I'm lucky that my wife has been giving me a haircut a little bit, so it's not grown too much. But I've got a question from you, and it came from Johnson Ling, and he says, how does he, that is you, keep himself fit during this lockdown period? And he sends you a lot of love from Northeast United FC.
Well, thank you for all the love, first of all. But no, I have a personal trainer who I've known for a very long time. I mean, since I'm a very young age, I've been going to this guy. I have a physio that's looking out for my body because that's also very important, to keep the muscles in shape. And yeah, I've just been working out by myself, going for runs, meeting up with my boys, play some football with my little brother, who's also a football player, playing with him. So I've been doing quite a lot of sports. Actually, today's my off day, so I'm a little unsettled here because I'm just used to playing football with my boys every day, you know?
Yeah, fantastic. But Pana, how did it all start? You mentioned your brother over there. When you first started kicking a ball around, obviously you might not have known that time that you're going to be a professional footballer. But what was it like growing up? I think it was in Germany, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, actually, back then, I wanted to be a professional footballer. That's
oh, really? Wow.
I want to be like him. I want to be like him. I want to be like him. So that was the motivation from the very first moment.
Yeah.
I grew up in Germany. My parents are Greek descent, so both my parents are Greek. My dad came here, I think, at the age of 16, 17. That's where he met my mother as well, in Germany. Yeah, my brother and myself, we were born in Germany and grew up over here.
And when did it first start? When did you decide to tell your father that, listen, this is, I mean, I'm okay going to school and all of that and, you know, taking my books there, but eventually it's football that I want to play. When was that decision taken?
The funny thing is, it was actually the other way around. So basically what happened is I was very good at it. And my dad could tell that I was working very hard. I would go outside, like keep the ball up as much as I can, play two-touch with my brother, just like all these competitive things with my brother, that my dad said, you know what, Pana? And to my brother, you guys have a gift over here. You have a big talent.
Yeah.
You use it right if you work in the correct way. Maybe you can get something out of this. So then he told me, you have to work hard. I can help you if you want, and we can go down this path together. But of course, school always came first.
Yeah.
My parents said, if you don't keep up your grades, you're not allowed to go to practice. So I was always forced to be good in school as well.
I've been reading a lot about you, and I realized that you're very fluent with German, you know, Greek as well, and you're very fluent with English. Was it the case in school that you were obviously you were learning, you could understand Greek because of your father, I'd imagine, and Germany because you grew up there, but you know, how is it that you're so good at 3 different languages?
So the thing is, it was very important for my parents for us to grow up with both languages, German and Greek. Greek obviously has the heritage, and German the language that is spoken in the country. But we then went to an international school where English was the first language. So during school time, it was English. During football time, during practice times, it was German, and at home it was Greek.
Yeah.
So that's how I started to be fluent in 3 languages. I actually also speak quite a bit of Spanish.
Oh, wow.
Northeast United actually improved my Spanish a lot because I had it back in school and didn't speak it for a very long time. But since almost all the foreigners in Northeast United, except for Kai, were Spanish, we spoke quite a lot of Spanish, and I improved my Spanish a lot, actually.
Well, I can't wait to ask you about, you know, sharing a pitch with Gallego and Leudo and the likes. But before that, I've got to ask you, since we're in the issue of speaking Greek, and I have a very good Greek friend who's also a commentator in the ISL, Mr. Andy Pascalidis, who's actually Aussie Greek, if I'm right. Sorry?
How do I not know him? How is there a Greek guy in the ISL that I don't know?
Well, you'll hear him if you listen back to some of the highlights of Northeast United FC games. You cannot miss Andy Pascalidis' commentary. It's gold. I can assure you that. But what does the name mean, Pana? Because I keep calling you Pana. Everybody refers to you as Pana, but the full name is something else. You give me a pronunciation, please, and the meaning of that name. I'm always fascinated by that.
So basically, I also have a tattooed on my arm. It's my full name is called Panagiotis. And that means Mother Mary. It's the male version name of Mother Mary in the Greek language. So that's why I have the tattoo here as well.
Nice one. Yeah, I know you carry that with a lot of pride. There's a question that came from Jling Z07, and he asked, I'm guessing it's a he, asked, how was Northeast United FC to you, and would you like to come back for us?
How were they to me? That was the question?
Yeah.
To begin with, I loved my time over there. I mean, I had a blast. I got a lot of love from the fans. It was absolutely overwhelming also for the beginning. I mean, I was really, really welcomed with open arms. And I mean, that's an absolutely great feeling. I truly understand why, if you really feel the love of the fans behind your back, why it's easier funner to play as well. And about
Yes,
coming
sir.
back, I mean, the way our paths ended was not the best way, but I mean, never say never in life. There's always you'll always see some person again. So I would never say never to something like that. I mean, I had a fun time there, so why not?
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody's asking if you're in a safe place. I think we can assure them that you are safe because you're at home, and you're as safe can be.
Yeah.
Just touching upon that the first time you came to India, how did that all happen, Pana? Because you played your football in Germany and in Greece as well. What was it like when you got a phone call or an email saying, "How about trying India, mate?"
So to be completely honest with you, I was for dinner at a restaurant in Athens with my girlfriend and a very good friend of ours at the time, or she's still a friend of ours today, but. My agent sent me a message out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him for a few days. He goes, "Pana, pack your stuff together. You're going to India." And
wow!
I pick up my phone and I show my girlfriend and I show our friend. I'm like, "Are you reading this?" And my girlfriend and the friend they're both like, "Yeah, you should go. India's amazing. It's so nice." At the beginning, I was like, "What? India? This is so random." So then I left the dinner conversation, called my agent, and he just told me about that. He spoke with Prashant Agarwal, Mr. Agarwal, and they are very, very interested in me. They spoke to Priya and John, that they were also interested. The coach at the time, Elko, was also very interested. So, I mean, I was like, yo, if everyone is that interested in me, the money's right.
Go for it.
The team is good. Why not? They're trying to fight for playoffs. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a competitor, so I do this to win. So it was a no-brainer. I called my family. We sat together and made a decision together because every decision I've taken in my life and every decision, my brother as well, we always sit in and make it as a family. It's like very important. My parents taught us that it's the four of us working together and we should try to stick together and make decisions together. So I definitely spoke to my family about it and they were all on board. Next thing you know, I flew back to Frankfurt, had to get my visa right so I can fly to India. And 3-4 days later, I landed in Delhi, and from Delhi in Guwahati. I was like, whoa, that went fast, out of nowhere. 4 or 5 days ago, I was sitting on top of the Acropolis in Athens having dinner. And now I'm in India. It went really fast.
Journey from Greece to Guwahati can be a bit long, I can assure you that.
Sure.
But what was it like? I mean, there are a lot of Highlander Brigade fans who are on this. They're waving to you. They're sending so much love to you as well. You mentioned Guwahati. What was it like, reaching Guwahati for the first time and the experience of just joining? I remember watching your video when you came back for the second season and Northeast released the video of you entering the dining hall and saying hello and giving high fives to all the players. It was very different, Pana, wasn't it, when you first came?
For me, the first time I came, it was just big unknown for me. It was like, where am I going? What am I seeing? I had never been to Asia, despite the fact being to India.
Wow.
So it was just like, I'm going to a new world. I'm starting a new life. I'm starting like, well, what is there to expect? I didn't know what to expect. The second time I was like, I'm coming back to my boys. Let's do this. Let's do this year, So it was a very, very, very big difference the first and second year.
There are a lot of people who think I'm live with Sergio Ramos at the moment. I think I'll take that as a backhanded compliment. But have you ever been compared with Sergio? I mean, you play different positions, but just the way you look, sometimes do people think, oh, that's Ramos over there?
I get Jake Gyllenhaal quite a lot.
Right.
This actor. Wait, I have a little guess for you guys. Wait 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. What's his name? Her name?
His name's Pegasus. He also has a name with him, actually. Pegasus the poodle.
Hello. Well, we've had the whole lot on this on Let's Football Live. We've had kids coming on. We've seen Golden Boot Awards, and that is the first ever appearance of of a dog. Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Pegasus.
Pegasus the poodle.
Yeah, there's somebody from Shillong as well saying hi. But why I asked you about Guwahati Pana is because, there are 7, 8 different states that come together and form Northeast United FC. And it's not easy because they're so different. They're very close together, but they're so different. When you talk about Manipur, you talk about Meghalaya, you talk about Mizoram, and all these states, they're entirely different. But when you first came to Guwahati, were you sensitized about the region? Were you told this is what it's all about? This is what the history and the legacy is, and how Northeast continue to provide talent to Indian football on a regular basis?
So to be honest with you, at first, especially after I signed, I had absolutely no idea about the ISL.
Yeah.
I had heard about most of the teams. I'd heard of a few, especially Kerala, because of the crazy fans. I had heard of Kerala. And then after I heard about Northeast, I did my research. The 8 states, 1 United, 8 stars. I heard that it's the mecca of football in India. So that's where football started in India. And they're very, very proud people. And I think you can also tell in the stadiums. In the stadium, especially Northeast United, it's one of the better fan bases in India. So, and that's not just because of Guwahati. That's, as you mentioned before, it's 8 states coming together and people riding 5, 6 hours in the buses just to come and see us play. It's a privilege for us. And I think I'm not speaking only for myself. I think I'm speaking for all my teammates there as well, or my ex-teammates actually.
Yeah, it's a fascinating experience when you go to the Northeast, and there's so many. It's so different yet so similar sometimes that it can just leave you in an awe-inspiring sort of zone. But I've got to take a few questions that have come in from the fans, so I'm going to jump straight to it. There was a question from Her M. Ferror who asked, why did you select 21 as your jersey number?
Here's the thing. So throughout my career, I've had number 7 and number 10. Those are my go-to numbers.
Yeah.
Then when I played in Greece, in Xanthi, I had number 7. Then I transferred from that club to a different team. Both number 10 and number 7 were taken. So I was like, what am I going to do now? So I just sat down. I looked at the numbers. I'm like, I think 21 might look nice. So then, I had that in the last team I played for in Greece, in Apollon. And then when I came to Northeast, I took it as well. Or actually, the first season I had number 27.
Yeah, that's right. In the first season, correct.
That was the first. Then I moved to 21. I didn't want number 7 because I've had it so many times. So I said, sorry about that. I'm going to do something else.
That's right. Yeah.
Number 10, Fede had. So I was, going back to 21 is a cool number. And I think it worked out for me. I scored a nice goal with 21 in India.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Stick to it if you can, because that was a wonder goal, I remember. And I'll touch upon that as well. But you mentioned Fede Gallego. And I also wanted to ask you about Ogbeche. What was it like sharing a pitch with these two gentlemen? Very different styles, of course. Very different positions as well. But fabulous players in the Hero ISL. Gallego and Ogbeche.
Well, I had heard of Ogbeche. He also played in Europe. He played in the Netherlands, which is not too far from here, from Germany. They're neighbors. So I'd heard of him. I think we complemented each other very well. He's a strong, stable striker, and I'm more of a very movable, dynamic player. And I think we complemented each other perfectly. And with Fede, it was also very nice. Bard playing up top, me on the left, Fede behind Bard. I think it was just like a nice little triangle that was actually, if you think about the styles of play, they just fit perfectly.
Yeah.
Fede with the passer. The guy that has the open eye. Me, the guy that's creating chances, just taking guys one-on-one, and just Bard finishing. I think it was a combination, and too bad that season didn't end in a higher note.
You literally stole the question from my mouth. I was going to ask you about the season, and you spoke about family. It was such a family-like feeling when you were looking in from the outside in at Northeast. because that run was absolutely phenomenal. Historic in so many ways because Northeast made the semi-finals for the first time. Just talk us through that journey a little bit, because there was a serious amount of self-belief, Pana, in that squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I came on pretty late. I played half of the season in Greece, so I came on towards the second half, or even later to the second half. I think I only had like 6 or 7 games left when I came to India.
Yeah.
Of course, Elko, it was difficult for him as well because he had his foreigners that were very successful, whom he had success with, and then came a guy like me, who obviously I demand to play every time. I mean, like I want to play as every other single player, and it was also tough for him, you know, having the foreigners that he's had success with, that are all healthy. No one was injured. They were all playing very, very well as well. And then me coming on board, me demanding to play, and me also playing very well. It was also a little bit of it was competition. But what I'm trying to get at is that it was healthy competition. I mean, we pushed each other in different ways. Fede, Jose, Bart, the central backs, Mato and Mislav, we all knew that there's one of us that can't play, so we all pushed each other in the right direction. And I think this competition that we had between the foreigners also helped all the Indian boys. I mean, with Roland, Putia, we had amazing players, and this helped all the Indian boys redeem, also push each other. And it was like you said, we were a big family off the court, but on the court, it was very, very healthy competition, and that's what I believe is the key to success.
There was some great competition between the Indian players as well. When you first arrived at Northeast United FC and you had the season that you had all the way up to the semis, were you surprised by the progress of a Roland Borges and a Putia?
I mean, I saw from the first day. I wasn't there from the preseason, from the stuff, but from the day I arrived, Roland and Putia were top players in the team. And I'm not saying this for Indian boys. They were top players amongst the whole team, not separating the foreigners and the Indian players. They were top players on the team. And I mean, they played a key role. I mean, Putia, he has great qualities. And Roland, I mean, is for sure one of the best players in all of India, 100%.
Yeah. There was also Redeem Tilang, who provided the fastest goal of season 2019-20. Do you know who provided the assist for Redeem when he scored that fastest goal?
Who was that? I heard he's a good player, though.
I heard he looks like Sergio Ramos.
I was so happy when we scored that goal. We really needed that.
Yeah. That was some strikers. And Redeem can strike a ball. I'm sure from the Highlanders' point of view, they must be disappointed, the fans, because he's now moved clubs from Northeast United to FC Goa, I think is what I read last. But what did you make of Redeem? Because a lot of people talk very highly of him as well when they see him on television and, you know, in stadiums.
Redeem has he's a good player. He's a very good player. He's a very consistent player. He's from Redeem, you know what you get. He will always give you a 7 out of 10, and then he'll push for an 8 and a 9 out of 10. But he's a very, very consistent player, and that's also a very, very difficult quality to have. And I mean, I think that's Redeem's strongest suit, that he always can compete on a very high level and be competitive at the same time, also score goals. He's good at keeping the ball. He's very strong for his position. He's definitely a good player, and I mean, if it's true that he went to FC Goa, I think it's a great acquisition for Goa. He's also a very good kid off the field, so it's an absolutely great transfer.
Yeah, absolutely is. In fact, there was a question from Spidey Knock, who says, "Who's your favorite Indian player?" You mentioned a few. You mentioned Puiti, you mentioned Roland, Redeem as well. Your favorite Indian player that you watched in your club or outside of it?
I would have to give you a top 3.
Sure, why not?
I would have to give you Roland for sure, because also Roland gave me every single ball. Always tried to find me, and me and him had a great. No, for sure. Roland, Putia, those two, 100%. And you know who I forgot? Robert.
Oh yes, yeah, Robert.
Oh man, that guy. Those are my top 3. Robert, 100%. What a player he was. Wow.
Yeah.
Huge qualities.
He's a sweet striker of the ball as well. Not a lot of people know that because he doesn't take too many strikes these days. But I remember watching him back in the day.
He has a very clean technique. He's very, very... He reminds me very, very much of a European footballer. He could be playing in Europe as well, 100%. He has great technical capabilities. He was fast. He was strong, and he understood the game. He was a very intelligent, or he is a very intelligent guy.
So your top three would be Roland, Puiti, and Robert. Then in that case.
Order. No order.
No order. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you don't. You might be sharing a pitch with one of them and might be against the other. Come another season of the ISL. Who knows? Never say never. Robbie King asked, your best moment in ISL.
I think I must say it must be the goal against Mumbai.
Did you practice that, Pana? Because a lot of people have asked me to ask you this. Is this something he does in training? Because I think you've got 61% of your shots from outside the box, which is a ridiculously high number.
Yeah, honestly, the first thing my dad taught me when I was a young kid was just shoot hard. What's up, Jono? Shoot the ball. So I definitely practice. I mean, you can also ask some of my teammates. I pride myself in my shooting technique. And for me, it was just a matter of time until I score a bang on the ISL, because I see myself doing it. And you can also ask my teammates this. I was doing this in trainings. It's not a coincidence that it went in the game. And I'm just happy that it did, because, I mean, a lot of times I think in half a season that I played in the ISL, I had, I think, 4 posts or crossbars. I mean, I was very unlucky. So I was just happy to get all this off of me, and for finally a ball to go into the back of the net like that, and especially in that way, in fashion.
Yeah, well, what a strike that was! I remember watching. I couldn't stay in my seat. It's one of those goals that just leave you wondering, when are we going to see something like this again? It takes a while to get a goal like that. So well done to you, sir. Brilliant goal.
It was definitely training. This doesn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember seeing a few crossbar challenges that the Highlanders used to do in training as well. Elko used to get involved as well in season 2018-19 a few times. So I'm sure this stuff happens when I think the main training is over, and then you just focus on taking shots and things like that.
Exactly, yeah. It's always the extra work that ends up paying off at the end.
Well, what about style of play, Pana? Because I was also intrigued by another statistic against your name, in a good way, which is about, I think you average about 3 dribbles a game and things like that. Is that how you like playing? Because I know that you were, in one of your videos, you were trying to show, how you can imitate the Ronaldinho trick of doing the step over and all that stuff. Is that your style, carrying the ball, trying to dribble past the opponent?
Well, I believe it also comes with the position that I play. I mean, if you're a winger and you're not taking players on a one-on-one, then well, why are you playing? I mean, like, your job is to create chances, and you create chances by dribbling player, going by him, crossing the ball, shooting the ball, 1-2s. I mean, definitely, I've had this since a very young kid. I mean, it's one of my strong suits in my game. It's worked for me almost all my life, so I don't see a reason why I shouldn't be doing that. In my head, I don't know if it's always the case, but in my head, even if Sergio Ramos is in front of me, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna dribble him. I'm gonna show him what I can do. Obviously, not stupidly when you can pass the ball. It's obviously comes with the situations that you're in. But that's the type of attitude and confidence I have when I have the ball. That I want to show everyone what I can do. Yeah,
fantastic. I love that. I love that example of, even if Sergio Ramos is in front of me, I'm going to do that because that's my job. Well taken.
If Sergio Ramos is in front of me.
It's almost like that's revenge for Mo Salah from that Champions League final. All right, okay. I've got a round that I play, Pana, which is called Tiki Taka, where I give you short, sharp clues, and you've got to find the player that I'm looking for. So I'm going to give you clues about a player, and let's see if you can guess the player I'm talking about. All right, ready for this?
I hope I'm good at this.
I'm sure you will be. I can already tell. I've got this gut feeling that there's a storm coming in Mumbai and that you're going to do well at this.
That's good.
Right. Okay. I have the most assists in Northeast United FC's history.
I would have to say, is it Nico Velez?
You're close, but no.
Gallego?
That's the one. That's the one. I thought you'd say it first time.
I was thinking. I was either thinking Gallego or Nico Velez.
Yeah, somebody guessed it right as well. Let me just see who got it right in the comments. I think it's Harina Tharish who got it right. Gallego. Well done, Harina. Okay, next one.
Herings is.
Was that, sorry?
Herings, I can see him in the comments as well.
Oh, say hello to him, please, from our side, from all of ISL. Yeah. Okay, the next clue for the player is, I have been part of Northeast United FC since 2016, but scored my first goal for the Highlanders under Elko Shitori and eventually went on to score 4 goals in that season.
Ooh. In the same season with Elko?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Roland.
That's Roland, yeah. What a player. And what a season he had as well. A big reason for why Northeast landed up in the semis. And Ajadarsh 10 has got that right. So well done to you as well. But so did Pana, first time. Okay, the next one. I scored the opening hat-trick in each of the last 2 Hero ISL seasons.
I scored at least 1 hat-trick?
I've scored the opening hat-trick. So this player has scored the first hat-trick in the previous season and the season before that. 2018-19 and 2019-20. It's a great stat, by the way. I had no idea that was the case.
Oh, Bart?
That's the one. Yeah, a lot of people. Again, Harina's guessed it right. Another person's got it right as well. Well done, Heman Saab.
Talking about goals, then it must be Bart.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, what a fantastic player. And I've often said this on our Instagram live sessions as well, that he was an equally good expert in studio as well. It's like he takes to everything like a fish to water.
Yeah, no, he's a great guy, and he's a very, very smart individual, very intelligent.
Do you remember anything that he said to the dressing room when addressing the Northeast players, on that run to the semi-final in 2018-19?
Honestly, Bart spoke so much, and I'm not saying that he was just the guy talking at all times. He would always say things that would get you motivated. I mean, I remember even the first day after the first training, he came to me and he's like, "Yo, you're gonna help us a lot." And then the first game I came, I think I trained 2 or 3 times, and Elko didn't put me in the starting 11, so I was fuming. And then Bart came to me and he's like, "Kid, don't worry, man. You're a great player. You will come on. You will make a difference. It's a question of time till you start. Don't worry." And like what I'm trying to say is, he's such a great captain that even like guys like myself who were not in the starting 11 for that game, he would come and see and speak to you. And even like every game, he would just go around the dressing room and speak to everyone, tell them like what he believes, what he thinks, try to motivate you. He's honestly a very, very, very good guy and an even better captain. That's why I know there was an outrage in India when Ogbeche was named captain. But
in Kerala.
In Kerala, exactly. I understand why he was named captain. I don't necessarily agree with it because he's such a great player. What was his name? The guy that was the captain.
Sandesh Jingan.
Exactly. He's such a great player and he has such a big career. I believe he should have stayed captain, but I understand why Ogbeche was put in such a leadership role because he's absolutely fantastic in it.
Yeah, I can't agree. He's like an elder statesman, isn't he? He's just got the right words to put in your ear sometimes when you need that confidence and motivation. Yeah, fabulous player indeed, Ogbeche. In fact, from the final name that I'm looking for, I'll give you the first clue for it. I only played 8 games, but I ended up as the top scorer for Northeast United FC in season 2019-20.
He looks like Ramos, I've heard. I did end up high, huh? 2 goals. Who was the first scorer? It was Asamoah.
Asamoah Gyan. Yeah.
Yeah,
Terrific.
We also had great chemistry, Asamoah and myself.
What was it like sharing a dressing room with him? Because he comes with so much pedigree. He was the biggest name to come to this season of the ISL. What was he like? Because I saw a lot of videos in the preseason where he was having a lot of fun on the team bus, and he was literally like the life of that family.
To be honest, if you compare Asamoah and Ogbeche, they are the complete opposite. Ogbeche is very, very serious, very, very focused and takes this chief role. And Asamoah is more like just your best friend from next door. He's like, you can't feel that, yo, this is Asamoah Gyan. He's one of the top scorers in the whole World Cup. Like, this man has played everywhere. This man has made millions in football. He's not that guy at all. He's literally a friend to everyone, to the young guys, young Indian boys that just came to the first team, to the top players that played every game. He was very, 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 very lovable guy, very, very funny guy. But when it came down to it and his opinion should have been heard, he was there to speak. So speaking for myself as well, I had a great relationship with him. We're still friends. We actually spoke yesterday. We still talk to this day. And I think on the court, we also had a great chemistry. And too bad this season had to end early for the two of us, because I think we also showed the Indian Super League that we had great chemistry. I mean, I think the last 4 goals that we played together, it was from Asa and me. So we had quite a good connection.
What was it like? Because I remember seeing a lot of videos in the preseason, even during the season, that would come out on. And his Instagram feed is really worth following sometimes, because he can come up with some really funny stuff on it, Asamoah Gyan. But what was it like, being on the team bus? Was there any funny incident that comes to mind that Asamoah Gyan was a part of, or a prank that he pulled off on somebody?
Every bus ride. Every bus ride. He's either dancing and just like creating a party in the bus, or he stole someone's iPhone and like the whole team is hiding it. Or he's starting a riot against whatever player, and there's just so many scenarios. He was always the initiator for everything.
What an incredible player! I mean, and what, he's got 6 goals in the FIFA World Cup. I think the all-time top African goal scorer. So just the funniest guy next door, and he can also be your best friend. Top man. Time for a few more questions, Pana, from the fans. There was one from Dukani Shaila who says, "Say something about the Highlanders, please. Much love from your big fan."
Best fans in the world. I had an absolutely great time. Probably the funnest time in my career with those fans.
Brilliant. I'm sure they'd love to hear that as well. They might save a clip of this as well.
I'm not just saying it. I'm truly saying this, and I truly believe this.
Is there anything that a fan did in particular for you, or for the team, that you remember that has stayed as a memory for you guys, or for you yourself?
For me, crazy was the first semi-final game that Northeast ever had. I mean, what the fans did there was incredible. I mean, we came there with the bus. We came, I think it was 2-3 hours early to the stadium, and there was thousands of fans with fireworks, with banners, with it was insane. I thought I'm playing in a Champions League final. I'm like, I finally did it. I'm playing in the Champions League final. No, it was absolutely fantastic. Honestly, that was one of the best moments. I think I had posted it on my story as well, and a few other guys as well. It was absolutely a crazy moment.
Yeah, that somebody just mentioned that. How was the pyro welcome in the first leg of the semi-final? Because you actually beat Bengaluru in that first leg, the defending champs eventually.
Incredible, honestly, incredible. There's no word to describe it. It was amazing. It's like I said before, you felt like you're playing in the Champions League.
I remember in the second leg, there was no Roland Borges, there was no Beche. He was on the bench, but that was more tactical and mental than anything else. And there was Gallego who got injured, that horrific injury that happened with the clash with Miku. Otherwise, you never know what could have been.
No, I think we had a good team and good chemistry. I think, like I said earlier, this season should have not ended like that.
Yeah. Okay, another question. Rate your goal against Mumbai City FC, asks Anjum.
I leave it up to the fans to rate it. I mean, I think the goal speaks for itself. I'm just very happy how it happened. I took the ball, dribbled inside, and just hit a clean strike. I'm just happy it went to the top corner. So I think I'll let other people rate it for me.
All right. So on a scale of awesome to outstanding, it was incredible. I'll take it as that.
I appreciate that, man.
Mohammed asks, who's your idol? Your footballing idol? Or a sporting idol?
Here's the thing. I don't really have an idol. Like, I don't have like I have one idol in my life. That's my father. He's my true idol. That's the person I look up to. But yes, I do look up to certain football players that I like their style. I like how they play. I like what they do on the court. But I wouldn't call them my idols. But I love obviously how Cristiano plays. I mean, he's been in the top. Messi, obviously, Neymar. I think, and from the younger players, I would say Marcus Rashford from Manchester United is a guy I think has a great career in front of him.
Top player, and he's got the knack of scoring in debut games in different competitions as well. That's something that is against the name of Marcus Rashford. Not a lot of people can claim to have that. Then Pushkaresh Bhatt asks, your favorite opponent in the ISL?
In the ISL, individual players or teams I like to play?
You can give us both. You can give us both if you want. Your favorite opponent as a player and team?
Individual opponent, I liked playing against Cifalon.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's played in the Premier League. So, I mean, from defenders with experience who have faced the best of the best, I think he's pretty much on top of the league. So, when we played against Delhi the first year, I think against Kerala, he was injured when we played them. But that was for sure the person that I wanted to go at, as I explained earlier.
Yeah.
And against teams, 100% Kerala.
All right, yeah. Top player. Can't deny that goal.
Stadium, the fans, it's humbling. It's a humbling experience.
Then somebody's asked, Radhika Krishna Kumar has asked, your favorite stadium in ISL. I think you already mentioned the first leg of the semi-final in 2018-19 in Guwahati. But if you were to go to an opponent stadium, which one would that be?
Well, number one stadium was Guwahati, obviously, because that's my home team. That's where I played. But as you said, if I would have to travel somewhere, as I also answered in the previous question, I would have to 100% say Kerala.
Yeah, a lot of people asking you.
And Jamshedpur also. I mean, the pitch in Jamshedpur is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like Kerala and Jamshedpur are top notch.
It's nice to get a goal against Jamshedpur, isn't it? Especially if it turns out to be an equalizer.
Oh yeah, that was also a nice moment.
Somebody asked your favorite goal in your career. So you mentioned Mumbai City FC, the goal against them is the best in ISL. Is there a better one in your career that you remember from Santi maybe or another one?
I've scored a few nice ones. I think one that's special in my memory. I have two. So there's one where I scored the fastest goal of the Greek Super League.
Yeah.
Which was actually in my debut game as well, in my debut start. I think I scored after, I think it's 9 seconds.
You can tell Redeem that.
Yeah, I actually did tell him after the game. I'm like, yeah, I'm faster, bro. I scored after 9 seconds. That was crazy. Because the coach, it's actually a funny story. So the coach was telling me in the dressing room, he was a German coach in Greece. We were fighting for the Europa League at that time. And the coach had told me, because I was still young, I think I was 20 or something, and the coach told me, Pana, your first touch, I don't want you to take the ball and dribble someone. I want you to play easy. You have to play one touch. You have to play one touch to get into the game. He was speaking in front of the whole dressing room, you know. And then we come on the game, and there was a guy, De Guzman, he was also in the chats actually earlier. Actually has a huge career, and he told me, he's like, Pana, don't worry, like don't listen to him. You're gonna kill him today. You're gonna show everyone like who you are. So, fun fact is, with my first touch, I scored the goal. So,
so you still stuck to what he asked you to do, but just scored a goal with it.
I'm like, that's what you wanted, didn't you?
Yeah, 9 seconds. 9 seconds is pretty incredible. And Andrew Shadap had a question about, are you still playing in India next season? Come on, let us fans know what you're doing.
So here's the truth. After I finished in Northeast, I had a few offers from the Indian Super League. There were some complications with my contract from Northeast that prohibited me from coming back to the league, playing for another team. At the moment, I am in touch with a few teams. For me personally, I would absolutely love to come back. honestly, it's not up to me. I think if the right offer comes and if we can come to agreement, I would absolutely have nothing against. And actually, the opposite, I would be completely for, and I would love to come and play in India again. I had a great time there, and I would love to play next year as well.
See, that's so good to hear, Pana, because you remember that dinner that you were having with your girlfriend, and when your agent messaged you and you said India. I mean, that just sounds outrageous. You've come a long way from there, haven't you?
No, for sure. And it was naive of me. It was naive of me.
Yeah.
Like, it's something I didn't know. So the first reaction is like, what, India? Like, I don't know anything about that. And now actually seeing it, visiting it, obviously there's a lot of poverty as well. But I think India is coming a long way and getting better gradually.
Yeah.
But for the league itself, I have nothing but great things to say. Like 100%.
Thanks for that. Thanks for the kind words about India and the ISL. There are a lot of questions about Robert Gyani or Elko Shatori. So I've got to ask you, what was the experience like playing under both the coaches? How was it different, and what did you enjoy more?
So they are very, very different coaches, very, very different styles. I mean, Elko is his focus is on having possession and being the best team tactically.
Yeah.
Robert Gyani is the type of coach that has a very special relationship with players. He's more of the friend rather than Elko being the chief of the group, putting you in the right lane, if I can say. And Robert Gyani was the coach that just like has you around his arm and is trying to create something in the team through his personal relationship with you. That's the biggest difference I would put in for those two coaches. I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just different styles, as Roland is a different style of player compared to me.
Yeah, great answer, Pana. And since we're on the topic of comparing two people, I'm going to lead you towards a nice one-touch Let's Football round as we almost come to an end of this. It's a rapid-fire round, so you've got to try and answer as quickly as possible. So I won't allow you too much time to think. Okay?
So one-word answers, or can it be multiple words?
I missed that. Sorry, there was a break in the network.
One-word answer, or can I have multiple words?
Yeah, but you have to pick one or the other, and you can give your reason for why you picked one if you want to. There's no problem.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
all right. Greece or Germany?
Greece.
Okay. Shooting from outside the box or inside the box?
Come on, I don't need to answer that.
61%. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Late equalizer or scoring early? Since you said you got the fastest goal.
Yeah, scoring early.
Scoring early, okay. Asamoah Gyan celebration or Pana time?
Pana time.
But come on, I saw you doing the Asamoah Gyan celebration. You got to show us that as well, because I remember you guys doing it once.
Get said, we'll do it together. He's like, if you score, we do Pana time. If I score, we do Asamoah Gyan. I'm like, let's do it, bro. And if you remember Jamshedpur, you can see Asa is also doing Pana time. And
yes, yeah. Towards the camera on the corner flag.
In Kerala, I think it was, we did Asa's celebration.
Amazing, yeah. That was one of the most fun times in the season. Okay, Ogbeche or Gyan?
Asamoah Gyan.
All right, fair enough. Gallego or Leudo?
Gallego.
Redeem or Reagan? Somebody just asked, so they're helping me out.
Redeem.
Okay. You can redeem yourself later about Reagan. Playing in India or playing in Europe?
Let's football India.
All right, well done. Better creator, Hugo Bumu or Rafael Crivellero?
Hugo.
Yeah. Better finisher, Koro or Krishna?
Koro.
And finally, your favorite player in the ISL and why?
My favorite player in the ISL. I would have to say, I think I would go with Ogbeche.
Ogbeche. Because of what he does on and off the pitch, or are there other reasons as well? He's been on text with you.
Exactly, on and off the pitch, and I mean his consistency. Because being consistent is a harder task than most people can imagine. Having a season where you score 10 goals, 12 goals, 11 goals is great. Yeah. But doing this 2 years, 3 years in a row, that shows quality. That is very, very, very difficult. That's why.
Would you say? Sorry, yeah. Would you say he's also been the best striker? Because there have been a few. There was Valskis who had a great season. There was Koro once again. Sunil Chhetri is in amongst them always. Miku was there the season before that.
That guy, Miku.
Miku?
Yeah. He is top class.
Even better than Koro and Ogbeche for you as a striker.
I think they are all fantastic strikers. I mean,
yeah.
All of them have had also very big careers in Europe. I think Miku also played for Valencia. But I think Miku is as strong as Ogbeche, as fast as Ogbeche, and he has the same technique as a winger, as a number 10. He has incredible skill. I mean, he's for sure one of the best strikers I've seen.
Fantastic, Pana. It's been a great session. Do you have any final words to say to the fans of the Hero ISL who've tuned into this and will be watching it later on as well?
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in or watching it later. It means a lot to me. I don't take anything for granted. Thank you to the Northeast United fans. Thank you to the Indian Super League. Thank you to you guys for having me. I had a very, very fun time, and I hope to see you guys back soon.
Stay safe, Pana, and keep dribbling, keep shooting from outside the box, and keep the comparisons with Sergio Ramos at bay by telling people that every time you go up against him, you're going to dribble past him.
Always. Pana time.
Pana time, yeah. Thank you very much. See you later.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes. Oh, that was a lot of fun with Pana Triadis. I mean, he's got his own style statement. He's got his own way of playing. Loves dribbling, loves taking on players, loves shooting from outside the box. And he scored a wonder goal against Mumbai City FC this time. If you haven't seen it, you've got to get on the ISL website and check it out. Or maybe the YouTube page. I'm sure they'll have it there. Thanks to everybody for tuning into this. Pana time, unfortunately, is over, but we'll be back with another edition of Let's Football Live. Hope you enjoyed this. Give us your feedback, send us your messages, and don't forget to send in your questions to the next guest, who we will reveal very, very shortly. Until then, stay safe, stay at home, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.